Ever wondered what it would be like to live life as a toon? Well, here's your chance.
Disney's Toontown Online. Many people's first childhood MMO, and certainly one that belongs on the Mount Rushmore alongside Wizard 101, Club Penguin, and, Pirates of the Caribbean Online, I guess? Released in 2003 as a Disney-affiliated turn-based MMO for all ages, it's really no surprise that Toontown came to be as popular as it was, especially among the age group that it was targeted towards. I mean, I wasn't even really a Disney kid. I preferred Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and even I remember dumping plenty of hours into the original Toontown Online during elementary school. The game's simplistic combat, focused around 7 different types of attacks called gags, provided enough depth to be interesting without overwhelming my smooth child brain. On top of that, Toontown's emphasis on social aspects and its upbeat aesthetic made it a joy to log onto after the school day and advance my toon just a little bit further along the game's fairly linear progression. It's hard for me to remember exactly how into the game I was, but the stack of Toontown Online trading cards that I found when I eventually moved out for college seems to indicate that it might be a little bit more than I remembered. But alas, all good things must come to an end, and eventually my child brain forgot about Toontown and moved on to newer, shinier games. Ones that didn't run particularly well on my mom's Windows XP computer. Toontown 2 moved on, as in 2013, 10 years after its initial release, the game's servers were permanently closed down, and it seemed that it would become nothing more than a distant memory of many people's childhoods, my own included. Only one problem. Remember that social aspect of Toontown that I mentioned? Yeah, that gave birth to a highly passionate community of fans, and they weren't exactly ready to just roll over and let their favorite game die.
Ever wonder what it'd be like to live life as a toon? You could catch some fish, play some games, or run some errands. But here in Toontown, we do things a little bit differently.
Enter Toontown Rewritten, a free, fan-driven, non-Disney affiliated project born from the ashes of the original Toontown Online. Toontown Rewritten began in alpha just a few months after TTO shut down in 2013, and over the past 10 years it's received consistent updates, mostly centered around refining and polishing the same core gameplay of the original game. There are definitely a few new additions, but nothing overly disruptive to the experience that fans of the original game are familiar with. All in all, Toontown Rewritten is great. For anyone looking to relive their childhood memories of Toontown Online or share that nostalgia with some friends, it's a perfect time capsule while also providing some quality of life changes to make it more digestible. When I discovered it existed during the pandemic in 2020, I was so excited to relive one of my earliest childhood gaming experiences. The more I played though, the more I realized that nostalgia can be powerfully deceptive. The gameplay started to get stale, the progression system didn't feel as rewarding as I remembered it being, and the game as a whole just didn't really compare to the standard that I hold video games to as an adult. Now this isn't to say that the devs of Rewritten didn't do an amazing job, because they did. The problems I have with the game are ones that stem from TTO, and they are, for better or for worse, faithfully recreated in TTR. As wonderful as it is, Rewritten isn't the reason I wanted to make this video though, because a few months ago I discovered Toontown Corporate Clash. TTCC is everything that my childhood nostalgia told me Toontown Online was, and then some. Where Rewritten preserves the core TTO experience and makes it as accessible as possible, Corporate Clash instead takes the base ideas from TTO and runs with them to create, in my opinion, a vastly superior MMO experience. In terms of major adjustments, the progression system has been completely overhauled in Corporate Clash, including an XP bar, levels, quests, and even a new system called Kudos boards, which allow you to continue doing quests for an area that you've already finished the main quest line for. On top of that, Corporate Clash makes some significant changes to gags, with a brand new gag track called Zap, and a system for speccing into gags that is much more flexible and customizable than the one from TTO and TTR. You can prestige gag tracks you already have to give them extra benefits, and you can refund the points you spent to unlock gag tracks and choose new ones at any time. The game also makes adjustments to the pre-existing gag tracks to balance them and give them interactions with other types of gags. For example, using sound now buffs the damage on your next gag, and if sound is used 2 times in a row, you become winded, making it so your 3rd sound in a row would deal significantly less damage. This change alone helps combat some of the stale gameplay that bothered me in TTR. The final addition that I'd call game-changing is the Group Finder. This kind of thing already existed via a website that you could link your tune to in TTR, but having it built into the game is a very welcome change and encourages cooperation even as early as the first area in the game. Above every systematic change, the part that initially got me wanting to play Corporate Clash is the multitude of new bosses. There are multiple types of bosses to fight, including street managers who appear randomly in each unique area of the game, bosses you fight at the end of each area's questline, and kudos managers, who you fight at the end of the questline tied to the aforementioned kudos boards. The kudos managers in particular are completely insane, and many of them outright violate any preconceived notions about how Toontown's combat is supposed to function. By far the most surprising aspect of TTCC that wowed me has to be the music. I'm just going to let a few of these tracks speak for themselves. For a rapid-fire round, some other new things include rebindable controls, including a much more effective sprint button, better graphics and redesigns for the more archaic-looking cogs, stickers, clubs, in-street gag shops, meaning you don't have to go back to the playground every time you need to buy new gags, 2 new playgrounds, 1 new type of cog called board bots, a lock-in system during battles to make sure that you're on the same page as your teammates, cog HP being displayed during battles so you don't have to run those calculations anymore, and tons of other stuff that I probably missed. Play Corporate Clash. You will not regret it. More importantly, if you've never tried Toontown in general, give it a try. Both Rewritten and Corporate Clash are definitely more enjoyable if you played the original game, but with Corporate Clash I genuinely believe that it's an MMO that even people who never played TTO can enjoy. If nothing else, Toontown is a great idle game to play in the background while you watch YouTube videos or chill into Discord call with some friends. Finally, I wanted to make it clear that this video wasn't meant to disparage Rewritten in any way. I mostly just wanted to gush about why Corporate Clash fits my gaming taste far more. If you prefer Rewritten, more power to you. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. This has been Stevenator, and I'll see you later.